Hare Krishna. Okay, now we can start the reading session. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Magnaatimirandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapatakamalам Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Pando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatari Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol. So, okay, today we continue Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, text 10. Who wants to start with the first verse?
I would like to start, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. अपर्याप्तं तद् अस्मकं बलं भीष्मावभिरक्षितं पर्याप्तं त्वदं चेतसां बलं भीराक्षितम् aparyatam immeasurable tat that asmakam of ours balam strength bhishma by grandfather bhishma abhrihashkidam perfectly protected paryaptam limited to but idam all this chetasam of the pandavas balam strength bhima by bhima abhirak sitam carefully protected. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Our strength is immeasurable, and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited. Purport. Herein an estimation of comparative strength is made by Duryodhana. He thinks that the strength of his armed forces is immeasurable, being specially protected by the most experienced general, grandfather Bhishma. On the other hand, the forces of the Pandavas are limited, being protected by a less experienced general, Bhima, who is like a fig in the presence of Bhishma. Duryodhana was always envious of Bhima because he knew perfectly well that if he should die at all, he would only be killed by Bhima. But at the same time, he was confident of his victory on account of the presence of Bhishma, who was a far superior general. His conclusion that he would come out of the battle victorious as well as ascertained. Can I continue, Prabhu, or any Prabhu will continue?
Hare Krishna. Okay, let's read always 2 and let's change after 2.
Okay, Prabhu. अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भगवान् अवस्थितः भीष्माम् एव भीरक्षन्तु भावनतः सर्व एव हि ayeneshu in the strategic point cha also sarveshu everywhere yatha bhaham as a bhagam as they are differently arranged avasthitaha situated bhishmahan to grandfather bhishma eva certainly Abhirakshantu support by may be given Bhavantaha, all of you, survey respectfully. Eva, certainly. Hi, also and also exactly. Translation. Now all of you must give full support to Grandfather Bhishma, standing at your respective strategic point in the planets of the army. Purport. Duryodhana, after praising the pros of Bhishma, further considers that other might think that they had been considered as less important. So, in this usual diplomatic way, he tried to adjust the situation in the above words. He emphasized that Bhishma Deva was undoubtedly the greatest hero, but he was an old man, so everyone must especially think of his protection from the all side. He might become engaged in the fight, and the enemy might take advantage of his full engagement uh, on one side. Therefore, it was important that other heroes would not have their strategic position allow the enemy to break the phalanx. Duryodhana clearly felt that the victory of the Kurus depended on the presence of Bhishma Deva. He was confident of the full support of Bhishma Deva and Dronacharya in the battle because he will knew that they did not even speak a word when Arjuna's wife Draupadi, in her helpless condition, had appealed to them for justice while she was being forced to strip naked in the presence of all great generals in the assembly. Although he knew that they were they, the although they knew that the two generals had some sort of affection for the Pandavas, he hoped that all such affections would now be completely given up by them, as was customary during the gambling performances. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Text 12. Tasya Sanjayan Harsham Kuru Vriddah Pitamaha Simhanadam Vinadyochai Sankham Dadmau Pratapavan. Tasya his Sanjanayan increasing. That was confusing. Harsham, cheerfulness. Kuru Vriddha, the grand desire of the Kuru dynasty, Bhishma. Pitamaha, the grandfather. Simhanadam, roaring sound like a lion. Vinadya, vibrating. Uchai, very loudly. Sankham, conch. Dadmau, blue. Pratapavan, the valiant. Translation. Then Bhima, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, like the sound of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy. Duryodhana was so happy. He was thinking, now we're gonna win. We have the great Bhima. Purport.
But still, he knows that because he was thinking that by getting the Narayani Sena he will win, but he didn't know that Krishna is there.
Yes, Prabhu. Purport. The grandsire of the Kuru dynasty could understand the inner meaning of the heart of his grandson Duryodhana, and out of his natural compassion for him he tried to cheer him by blowing his conch very loudly, befitting his position as a lion. Indirectly, by the symbolism of the conch shell, he informed his depressed grandson Duryodhana that he had no chance of victory in the battle. Because the Supreme Lord Krishna was on the other side, but still it was his duty to conduct the fight, and no pain should be spread in that connection. Yeah, it was funny because, yes, he had no chance of victory in the battle. He informed that he had no chance. Still, he was going to fight. Tata
Can I read?
yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. तथा शङ्कश्च भर्यश्च पणवानक गोमुखः सहभाव्यन्यन्तस शब्दस्तु मूलभवतः. Translation. After that Tatha, thereafter, Shankha, conch shell, Cha, also, Bhairya, bugles, Cha, and Punava Anaka, trumpets and drums, Gomukha, horns, Sahasa, all of us sudden, Eva, certainly, Abhyayanta, being the simultaneously sounded saha, that sabdaha combined sound, tumula tumulation abhavat became translation. After that, the conchal bugles, trumpet, drums, and horns were all sudden sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous.
I go next.
Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for reading. Let's change always after one text.
Yes. Tata swete haye yukte mahatis syantene stito unto mat madhava pandavasteva the divyo sankho pradhad mato tataha. Thereafter, swete tai by white, hai yihi horses, yukte yukte being yoked with mahati in the great Sayandane chariot, Stitao, Stitao, so situated, Madhava Krishna, the husband of the goddess of fortunes, Pandavaha Arjuna, the son of Pandu, Cha also, Eva, certainly, Devyo, transcendental, Sankao, concepts, Pradad Mata, sounded. Translation. On the other side, both Krishna and Arjuna, situated stationed at a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conchos. Report. In contrast with the conchos blown by Bhishma Deva, the conchos in the hands of Krishna and Arjuna are described as transcendental. The sounds of transcendental conchos indicate that there was no hope of victory for the other side, because Krishna was on the side of the Pandavas. And Jayas tu Pandu Putranam Yesam Pakshe Janardana. Victory is always with the persons like the sons of Pandu, because Lord Krishna is associated with them. And whenever and wherever Lord Krishna, where the Lord is present, the goddess of fortune is also there, because the goddess of fortune is never lives alone without her husband. Therefore, victory and fortune are awaiting Arjuna, as indicated by the transcendental psalm produced by the concept of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Besides that, the chariot on which both the friends were seated was donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjuna. And this indicated that the chariot was capable of conquering all sides wherever it is drawn over the three worlds. Able. Finish. Transcendental.
Yes, Prabhu. I think this Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, they were like, because they maybe were thinking that Krishna is not going to fight anyways or something like this. He was not seeming like, yeah, he was not seeming so as dangerous as Bhishma Deva. So they got confident that, oh, they were maybe thinking that they're gonna fight against some little kids or something. They were really confident. But
Bhishma Deva told them in the assembly that you will not be able to win.
yeah,
But Duryodhana was in ego. No, I will win.
yeah.
And the funny part is, when the Panamos came with their 11 phalanxes, Duryodhana, he was surprised to see, like, wow. Like, I think we just passed that part where Duryodhana had to go to Dronacharya and had to complain to him, like, this is the work of your disciple. Just
Yes, Prabhu.
see.
Yes, Prabhu. This beginning is so amazing. Okay, who wants to continue the next one?
पाञ्चजन्य ऋषिकेशो देवदत्तं धनञ्जय पौण्ड्रं दम्भो महाशङ्खं भीमकर्मावरकौदर Panchajanyam, the consul name Panchajanya, Rishikesha, Rishikesh, Krishna, the Lord who direct the sense of the devotee. Devadattam, the consul name Devadatta, Dhananjaya, Dhananjaya Arjun, winner of wealth. Pondram, the consul name Pondram, the Tandaman who below. Mahashankam, the terrific consul. Bhima Karma, one who performed the Herculean task. Varkodra, the voracious eater Bhima. The Lord Krishna below his consul called Panchajanya. Arjun below his the Devadatta and Bhima the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks. Below his terrific consul called Pondram. Purport. Lord Krishna is referred to as a Rishikesh in this verse because he is the owner of all senses. The living entities are part of and parcel of him, and therefore the sense of the living entities are also part and parcel of his sense. The impersonalist cannot account of the sense of the living entities, and therefore they are always anxious to describe all living entities as senseless or impersonal. The Lord, situated in the heart of all living entities, direct their senses, but He direct in terms of the surrender of the living entity. And the case of a pure devotee, He directly control the senses. Here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Lord directly controlled the transcendental sense of Arjuna and thus his particular name of Hrishikesha. The Lord has different name according to his different activities. For example, his name is Madhusudana because he killed the demon of the name of Madhu. His name is Govinda because he gave pleasure to the cow and to senses. His name is Vasudeva because he appeared as the son of Vasudeva. His name is Devaki Nandana because he accepted Devaki as his mother. His name is Yashoda Nandan because he awarded his childhood pastime to Yashoda at the Vrindavan. His name is Partha Sarathi because he worked as a chariot of his friend Arjuna. Similarly, his name is Rishikesh because he gave direction to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Arjuna is referred to as a Dhananjaya in the verse because he helped his elder brother in fetching wealth when it was required by the king to make expenditure for different sacrifices. Similarly, Bhima is known as a Vakodra because he could eat as a voraciously as he could perform Herculean tasks such as killing the demon Hidimba. So the particular types of consul belong by the different personalities on the side of the Pandavas. Conscience below the different personality of the side of the Pandavas, beginning with the lords, were all very encouraged to the fighting soldiers. On the other side, there was no such a credit nor the presence of Lord. Observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna, the supreme director, nor the of the goddess of fortune, so they were predestined to lose the battle, and thus was the message announced by the sound of the consuls.
Haribol, thank you, Prabhu. Oh, Hare Krishna, long one.
Evil.
Anantavija Yamraja Kuntiputro Yudhishthira Nakulah Sahadevascha Sugosa Manipushpakau Kashyascha Parameshvasa Sikhandi cha Maharata Drishtadyumno Viratascha Satyakischa Parachitaha Drupado Draupadeyascha Sarvasa Prithivipate सौपाद्रश्च महाबाहु शङ्खान् दद्मुः पृथक् पृथक् Anantavijayam, the conch named Anantavijaya. Raja, the king. Kuntiputra, the son of Kunti. Yudhishthira. Nakula. Sahadeva, Cha, and Sugosa Manipushpakau, the conches named Sugosa and Manipushpaka. Kasyaha, the king of Kasi, Varanasi. Cha and Parameshvasaha, the great archer, Sikandi Cha, also Maharataha, one who can fight alone against thousands. Drishtadyumna, the son of King Drupada. Virataha Virata, the prince who gave shelter to the Pandavas while they were in disguise. Cha also. Satyaki, the same as Yuyudhana, the charioteer of Lord Krishna. Cha and Aparajitaha, who were never vanquished before. Drupada, the king of Panchala. Draupadeya, the sons of Draupadi. Cha also, Sarvasaha, all. Prithvipade, O king. Saubhadraha, the son of Subhadra. Abhimanyu. Cha also, Mahabahu, great armed. Sankhan, conch shells. Dadmuhu, blue. Pritak, each separately. Translation. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakula and Sahadeva blew the Sugosa and Manipushpaka. That great archer, the king of Kasi, the great fighter Sikandi, Drishtadumna, Virata, and the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the son of Subhadra, greatly armed, all blew their respective conch shells. Sanjaya informed King Dhritarashtra very tactfully that his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his own sons on the seat of the kingdom was not very laudable. The signs already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in that great battle, beginning with the grandsire Bhishma down to the grandsons like Abhimanyu and others, including kings from many states of the world. All were present there, and all were doomed. The whole catastrophe was due to King Dhritarashtra, because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons. Hare Krishna. Okay, who wants to continue?
Sagosho te. Let me just zoom in. Sagosho tartarastranam irtayan yani vyadharatyat nabhascha parthi vicheva tumula vyanu andayan saha, that goshaha, vibration, and Tartaras Tranam, the sons of Dhritarashtra, Hirdayan Yani hearts, Vyadharayat shattered, Nabaha, the sky, Cha also, Prithivim, the surface of the earth, Cha also, Eva certainly, Tumulaha, uproarious, Abhiyanu Nadayan, by resounding. Translation. The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, and thus vibrating both in the sky and in the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Report. When Bhishma, and the others on the side of Duryodhana blew their respective conch shells, there was no heartbreaking on the part of the Pandavas. Such occurrences are not mentioned, but in the particular verse, it is mentioned that the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra were shattered by the by the sound vibrations by the Pandavas party. It is due to the Pandavas and their confidence in Lord Krishna. One who takes shelter of the Supreme Lord has nothing to fear, even in the midst of in the greatest of calamities. What was it? Abhay Charanavinda. Abhay Charanavinda, who's not, he was fearless at the feet of Lord Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, their hearts were shattered. Okay, who wants to read next one? Okay, Haribol. Atha vyavasthitan drishtva dhritarashtraन् kapidvaja pravritte sastra sampate danur udyamya pandavaha rishikesham tada vakyam idam aha mahipate. Atha, thereupon, vyavashtitan, situated, drishtva, looking on, dhritarashtraन्, the sons of Dhritarashtra, Kapidvajaha, one whose flag is marked with Hanuman, Pravritte, while about to be engaged, Sastra Sampate, the arrows released, Danuhu, bow, Udyamya, after taking up Pandavaha, the son of Pandu, Arjuna, Rishikesham, unto Lord Krishna, Tada, at that time, Vakyam, words, Idam, these, Aha, said, Mahipate, O king, translation. O king, at that time Arjuna, the son of Pandu, who was seated in his chariot, his flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows, looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra. O king, Arjuna then spoke to Rishikesha, Krishna, these words. Purport. The battle was just about to begin. It is understood from the above statement that the sons of Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of military force by the Pandavas, who were guided by the direct instructions of Lord Krishna on the battlefield. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Ram in the battle between Rama and Ravana, and Lord Rama emerged victorious. Now both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna to help him. Lord Krishna is Rama himself, and wherever Lord Rama is, his eternal servitor Hanuman and his eternal consort Sita, the goddess of fortune, are present. Therefore, Arjuna had no cause to fear any enemies whatsoever, and above all, the Lord of the senses, Lord Krishna was personally present to give him direction. Thus all good counsel was available to Arjuna in the matter of executing the battle, in such auspicious conditions, arranged by the Lord for his eternal devotee, lay the signs of assured victory. So what is Arjuna going to say? Is he going to say, okay, let's fight? Or what is he going to say? Let's see. Who's gonna read? Okay, Hare Krishna. I can also read. Arjuna Vacha Senayor Utbayor Madhye Ratham Stapayamechyuta Yavat Etan Niriksheham Yoddukaman Avishtitan Kairmaya Saha Yoddavyam Asmindrana Samudyame. Arjuna Uvacha said, Senayoho of the armies, Ubayoho of both the parties, Madhye in between them, Ratam the chariot, Stapaya, please keep me, my Achyuta, O infallible one, Yavat, as long as Etan all these Nirikshe may look, Aham I, Yoddukaman, desiring to fight, Avashtitan, arrayed on the battlefield, Kai, with whom Mayam by me, Saha with Yodavyam the fight with, Asmin in this Rana strife, Samudyame in the attempt. Translation. Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies, so that I may see who is present here, who is desirous of fighting, and with whom I must contend in this great battle attempt. So Arjuna wants to see who is the enemy and who are fighting. Although Lord Krishna is the supreme person of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend. He never fails in his affection for his devotees, and thus he is addressed herein as infallible. As charioteer, he had to carry out the orders of Arjuna, and since he did not hesitate to do so, he is addressed as infallible. Although he had accepted the position of a charioteer for his devotee, his supreme position was not challenged. In all circumstances, he is the supreme person of Godhead Rishikesha, the Lord of the total senses. The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render a service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotee. He takes greater pleasure in his pure devotees assuming the advantaged position of ordering him than he does in being the giver of orders. As master, everyone is under his orders, and no one is above him to order him. But when he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure, although he is the infallible master of all circumstances. As a pure devotee of the Lord, Arjuna had no desire to fight with his cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come onto the battlefield by the obstinacy of Duryodhana, who was never agreeable to any peaceful negotiation. Therefore, he was very anxious to see who the leading persons present on the battlefield were. Although there was no question of peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield, he wanted to see them again, and to see how much they were bent upon demanding an unwanted war. Yes. See here, Arjuna was still on the platform of speculating. He could just have begun the war and just fought as Krishna said, but he was still on the platform of speculation. He wanted to go in the middle and observe what is going on and should I fight, should I not fight. He was still speculating and not surrendered. Okay, Haribo, who wants to read next one? Okay, Hare Krishna. This is last one. Yotsyamanam aveksheham yaetetra samagataha dhritarashtrasya durbuddher yuddhe priya chikirsavaha. Yotsyamanam, those who will be fighting. Avekshe, let me see. Aham, I. Ye, who. Ete, those. Atra, here. Samagataha, assembled. Dhritarashtrasya, the son of Dhritarashtra. Durbuddhe, evil-minded. Yuddhe, in the fight. Priya, well. Chikirsavaha, wishing. Translation. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. Purport. It was an open secret that Duryodhana wanted to usurp the kingdom of the Pandavas by evil plans in collaboration with his father Dhritarashtra. Therefore, all persons who had joined the side of Duryodhana must have been birds of the same father. Arjuna wanted to see them in the battlefield before the fight was begun just to learn who they were, but he had no intention of proposing peace negotiations with them. It was also a fact that he wanted to see them to make an estimate of the strength which he had to face, although he was quite confident of victory because Krishna was sitting by his side. So at this point, Arjuna was still going to fight. He had no intention of proposing peace negotiations. So he was still going to fight because he didn't know who is he going to fight with. And the speculation started when he sees that it's relatives and things like this. Then he loses the confidence of fighting. Okay, tomorrow we continue from text 24. Now we need to go to 6 Astakam prayers. चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणम् विद्यावादू जीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्
नाम्नाकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस् तत्रार्पिता नियमितः स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवान् मामपि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशं जहनी ननुग्रह
ऋणादपि सुनिचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना मानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीया सदा हरि
ऐनन्देन तनुजा किङ्करं पतितां नाम विषुमे भवं बौद्धो त्रिपपाय तव पादपङ्कजा स्थितो धूलिर्सदृशं विचिन्तय
नयनं कलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदारुदया गिरा पुलकर्निशितं वपुः कदा तव नाम गृहणे भविष्यति
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रवर्षितं शून्ययितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दाविरहेण मे
अश्लिष्य वा पादरतं पिनष्टु माम् अदर्शनं मर्महतं करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विधातु लम्पतो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव न परः
Glories to the Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all dust, accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is a prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is a life of all the transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your general servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from the ocean of birth and death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling of separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrent of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Hari Bol, Shri
Hari Bol.
Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Panchatattva
Jai,
Ki Jai, Nityananda Prabhu Ki
जय
Shri Krishna
Jai,
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai,
जय
Jagat Guru
Jai,
Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nitai
Jai.
Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
जय हो।
अहं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।